and then you only get access to the other episodes if you buy one of the NFTs and you get pure access. Now they've also got some great future things that are coming into play. And kia ora guys, welcome to That NFT Podcast. I'm your host, I'm Kieran Headley, and I'm here to speak about great investments that I think are great. Okay, this is not financial advice. Below 0.5 Ethereum, which is valued at around about 2,500 New Zealand dollars, which is just under 2,000 US dollars, right? So it's like 1,700, I think, ish USD, I think, right? Now, this also does mean that, yes, there are some that are literally at about $250, all right, New Zealand, or, $170 USD roughly, right, in terms of an investment point, which is, incredibly low for an NFT project. So I'm very excited. I'm going to talk about the top 10 that I feel are going to do very well long term. I'll do a flipping episode at some stage, talking about what I look for when I try flipping, which I've done very terribly at some stages, but then I've done very well at some stages. Like some stages I've made, over $3,000 in 12 hours. It's been great. And then on some stages I've lost, about $2,000 in 12 hours. No, I haven't. No, actually, no. The worst I did in a flip was, I think I lost. No, I did lose about $2,000 in about 12 hours. Yep, I did. Anyway, that being put aside, okay, because that's for a later episode, we're going to talk about long-term great investments, especially if this is going to be your first NFT investment. It's probably a great place to start. Okay, so we're going to go through top 10, and then I'm going to share maybe some, maybe projects that also as well that you can have a look at. But definitely DYOR, do your own research. Okay, so in other words, when you hear about these projects, which I'm going to list in the description below, so you can actually go to the description. And for me doing this, it would be fantastic if you could leave a good old review. I appreciate any review. All you do is you go to our main page on iTunes, right? You literally just click the little purple bit, which is our title underneath the episode name, and you go there and you scroll down a bit and you'll see an empty stars. You just click on one of those stars, ideally 5, but honestly whatever you feel, and yeah, you just leave a little review, and it really helps us grow. So yeah, that would be massively appreciated. Love you guys. And yeah, so let's go with top 10. I'm excited. Now some of these I will be buying myself, actually, which I'm very excited. And some of them I won't be, just simply because of the fact my funds go to all sorts of things, right? Some of my funds go to flipping, some of my funds go to long term. So that's why. Now, I'm going to share as to why I believe each one is in the top 10, why it deserves to be there, and what I think maybe are some limitations as well, just to be nice and clear. And then you can do your own research from there. Once I've sort of listed a name of something, what I suggest is maybe typing into OpenSea or Google, depending on where the project exists, right? Onto Google, and you can go find their Twitter, which I highly suggest. Go find their Twitter, go find their Discord, which I also suggest, and go find their website. All right, and then you can get an idea of maybe what their vision is, what they're doing at the moment, what the community is like, and how engaged the community is with them, right? So on Twitter, you can see all their general updates. On Discord, you can see the community as well as more recent updates, because all their most recent updates will go on to announcements within their Discord, which I highly, highly recommend. If you're interested in a project, go to their Discord. All right, this will help immensely for you to understand a project. All right, so now if you're interested in any of these projects, definitely go do all that stuff and more, okay? Because you want to do as much research as you can, and then definitely go. Don't leave it too late, because the price will go up. I already know that. I have this deep knowing that I'm 99.999% sure that all of these projects are going to grow in their own way over the next 12 to 24 months. That's what I mean by long term. I don't mean 12 to 24 days, guys. So, like I said, long term stuff. Now, number 10, coming in at number 10 is IMEX Punks, all right, which exists on the Immutable X platform. Immutable X is also on the Ethereum platform, but there's no gas fees, so therefore there's no exchange fees. So you can just buy it, and the only fees that are really being lost amongst the transaction are any of the royalties that go to the project, and then also any of the royalties that also go to Immutable X, right, which is a platform. So it's not on OpenSea. This is the only one that I'm sharing that isn't on OpenSea. Every one of the other ones that I am sharing are, simply because I do most of my trading on OpenSea. I do most of my investments on OpenSea, right? Some of them aren't, but most of them are, which is why I speak specifically there. It's also the biggest place, place for NFTs as well. And I'm noticing as I'm sharing this that my recording device is about to die. So I know, I'll see how this goes. Please don't die me. And so number 10, IMEX punks, specifically because every platform gets their own punks eventually, right? IMEX punks is going to be the first punks that will exist on the Mutable X platform, and it's definitely a growing platform. Long term, it's going to do, I feel, is going to do very great until at least OpenSea is able to get rid of their fees. All right, so you can go and find IMEX punks and learn how to set yourself up on a Mutable X. It's just a quick YouTube how to set yourself up on a Mutable X. Very straightforward. Okay, so it's just another platform, just like OpenSea. So it's like an eBay for Ethereum, but it's not. It's like going from eBay to Amazon, right? Or even better, sorry, from eBay to I don't know, Craigslist or Trade Me for New Zealand, something like that. All right, now, so that's IMEX punks. It's going to be when it's minted at this point in time. This is when I'm sharing it that I've recorded the floor. So it might go up, it might go down from when it's released. It's the TBC, that's to be confirmed date of release. They haven't announced yet. 0.05 Ether. 0.05 Ether is literally like, geez, I actually want to find out now. I think that's, 250 New Zealand dollars roughly, right? So yeah, pretty cheap. Yeah, it's like 170 USD. Okay, so 0.05 Ether. It's great. Like basically for this one, I'm probably going to get one, and I'll probably sell it after the first maybe 2 or 3 weeks. That's just me though, right? It might be a good long-term hold. Every punks that gets onto a new platform does decently well, and that's because they're trying to mirror the whole CryptoPunks thing that, from 2017 to 2021, build millions of dollars for each token. It's just insane in terms of value. So IMEX punks is going to be the Immutable X one. Now, coming in number 9 is StonerCats. All right. Now, StonerCats is this really cool, I've actually got it up here, concept that many celebrities got involved in. All right. Let's see. Okay. So Vitalik Buterin, I know he's in some movies anyway. Mila Kunis, all right, Ashton Kutcher, Seth MacFarlane, Chris Rock, Jane Fonda, right? So these people are the voiceovers of the series that you can only get access if you own one of the StonerCats NFTs, right? So you can go and watch episode 1 on the website stonercats.com, and then you only get access to the other episodes if you buy one of the NFTs and you get pure access. Now they've also got some great future things that are coming into play. I'm not sure what they are, but if you own a StonerCat, then yeah, you'll get access to these future utilities, whatever they're going to be. All right, so that's the cool thing about StonerCats. Great utility, great concept, great story. Yeah, and there's heaps of up and coming things that will be involved. I reckon it's going to do very well next year. Again, this is not financial advice, guys. This is just what I think. You guys will make your own decisions based on this, okay, or based off whatever information you get. So that's currently, the floor price is currently 0.4 ETH, which is around about 2,000 New Zealand dollars ish, right? In other words, that's like maybe, I don't know, 13 or 1400, about 1300 USD, I'd say, right? So that's the cheapest one that you can possibly buy on OpenSea right now. Might go up, might go down. It will fluctuate. It will be volatile, and long term it will build, right? So that's just the case with NFTs and with crypto, as it's volatile, and long term, if so long as it's a stable project, it will do well, right? Due to the fact that there's only limited amount that there's only 10,400 StonerCats or something like that, and yeah, that there'll never be more. There will never ever be more. So the more people that start to want them, the more that the demand goes up and supply stays the same. Of course, value goes up. Natural. Winter Bears is number 8. Coming in at number 8. All right, Winter Bears, 0.45. Cool concept. Again, the things that I liked about Winter Bears is the fact that they have a lot of cool things. They really care about the community. They're very big on creative. So they've got different things going on with an art club that you only have access to if you're a part of the Winter Bears. Heaps of things in the DAO, which is the decentralized oh geez, I need to freaking Google this again. I keep forgetting what the actual abbreviation of DAO is. Some of you probably listening and like Common Cure, and you've got an NFT podcast. Tell me what this is. Decentralized autonomous organization. That's right. So essentially, that just means that they've got their own thing that they're utilizing it within the decentralized world decentralized space, and they're going to build some sort of system that you can access only through winter bears within that space. Okay. Now that's, we can talk about the DAO a lot more in another episode. All right. The other thing as well is they're going to be sharing royalties. Again, you get some of the profits, which is pretty cool. That you'll get bear drop. So in other words, they're going to airdrop, in other words, send for free to your wallet, right? So you don't have to pay a single thing. You get it completely free. They will pay the exchange fees necessary, in other words, the gas fees necessary in order for them to send you free stuff. I'm going to say it anyway, free shit. I'm not going to hold back. I don't care if this podcast is meant to be clean. All right. Free shit. All right. You're going to get it, which is cool. If you own these winter bears, they have yet to send them as well. So if you get one now, you hold it, you'll eventually get some free stuff into your wallet. All right. They're also doing a lot of charity work. They're doing lots of cool different things. You get access to their merch store. A lot of projects are doing that, so it's not really anything special in my opinion. Winter Bear's short animation similar to StonerCats. The reason why Winter Bears comes above StonerCats for me is because there's more utility involved. Even though there's some big names in StonerCats, big names don't necessarily mean a project's going to do well. It's about the community and about the perceived value of that community that sees that project itself and that product. So that's why Winter Bears is number 8. Now number 7, which I feel is going to do again probably even long term, maybe a little bit better, maybe not. Right? This is just my opinion based on the current information that I have access to now, right? Well, number 10 might do better than number 1. Who knows? I actually don't, right? No one knows, right? This is just based on intuition and based on the research that I have and based on the data that I've accrued from my own experiences with NFTs. All right. So number 7 is Roaring Leaders. All right. Roaring Leaders is the very first ever, and when it says first ever, it's probably going to be pretty good in some shape or form. All right, first ever mutual fund of NFTs that have ever existed, that will ever exist. So it's very exciting stuff. The art itself was designed by a Marvel artist. So Marvel like Iron Man, Hulk, American, friggin' heck, brain dead. Because I just recorded an episode before this. Thor. You get me. So essentially there's a cool artist involved. So there's very cool art and there's a lot of great utility, but the main feature that is cool about Roaring Leaders is the fact that it's your mutual fund. They already own $500,000 worth at least in NFTs within their fund. And then we get the owners of that, because I'm already an owner on it, is you get, or the 10,000 people that own it get split between the 3% of profits that they gain from the mutual fund, which is pretty damn fantastic, right? And that's only going to continue to grow. So 3%? No, we all get a share. That's right. We all get an equal share, which is so cool. But it's 3% of their profits that they make go to purchasing NFTs for their mutual fund, and they build this whole fund of NFTs, and then as they sell them and trade them and all that sort of thing, and the profits made from that, those profits go to the owners of Roaring Leaders. So that's the cool thing about it. And that's why it made number 7, because there's all this other extra profits that can be possibly made, which always gives it more perceived value. Right now, and that's currently valued at 0.14 ETH. 0.14 ETH is something like I don't know, like 1,500 New Zealand, 1,400 New Zealand-ish, right? Is that right? I think that's right. Because 0.2 is no, 0.4 is 2,000. So it's just under $1,000 New Zealand. Okay, so it's not super expensive. And then I forgot to mention that Winter Bears is valued at 0.445 as the floor price currently. I forgot to say that, 0.45 Ether, which is just under 2,500 New Zealand. Okay. Now, coming at number 6 is the Crypto Cannabis Club. All right, now this one has some great utility. I reckon it's going to do fantastically next year because it's the first project of its kind. Again, a first, right? And the fact that there's a lot of famous people that own Crypto Cannabis Club tokens, such as Rich the Kid is I know a guy that's in on it. Same as quite a few other celebrities, and they have a lot of real world utility, meaning, right, if you own a Crypto Cannabis Club, as they partner with various cannabis organizations over in the States and maybe in other areas of the world, you get discounts. Like, Americans are going to love this stuff, right? Which is why the value is going to go up, because a lot of American cannabis organizations, companies, all right, businesses will give discounts if you own a Crypto Cannabis Club token. How cool is that, right? And then on top of that, they do real world competitions to do with weed. And on top of that, you get to grow literally weed plants in the metaverse. So in your online space, in this sort of decentralized space, you get to grow weed plants, and they have competitions to who does the best weed plant in the metaverse. So all these different cool things. So it's a cool club, cool space, and overall at the moment it was valued at a lot higher than it is now before, which I think was why now it's probably a great time to get in if you have the funds, is at 0.17, right? Long term, it's going to do fantastic in my opinion, and at the moment is literally valued at less than $1,000 New Zealand, right? So yeah, again, great one if you want to get in. And then coming in at number 5, in my opinion, is the Yakuza Cats Society. And I'm quite bullish on this one. I actually flipped a Yakuza cat and made like $2,000 off it or something like that. Very quickly, literally within the space of like 12 hours. But this is also one that's great long term. And the reason why I was able to flip it is because they did a reveal, meaning you couldn't see your character until 24 hours after purchase, right? Once you purchased it, then it was just sort of like a random sort of a silhouette, and then eventually got revealed. And when projects are about to get revealed, they normally get hyped. So lots of people buy because they're like, oh, what will we get? What will we get? What will we get? Just like when you buy a trading card pack, you don't know what you're going to get. And then they, buy it from you at a higher price and, what it will be after the reveal. Once the reveal is done, again, floor price drops. So that's where I made the money. But you can still buy in now at a fairly affordable price, which is 0.39. So it's about 2,000 New Zealand roughly, and about 1,300 US. All right. And the reason why it's a great project, it was one, because the community is huge, massive community. I think it's going to do very well over the next year or two. And also as well, it's a very Japanese-based project. So it's, I believe every single person that's involved in this project is Japanese, which is really cool. And I love that it brings a whole different community to it as well. They're going to gamify the NFTs, meaning they're making a game out of the cats. Which is the Yakuza cats, right? And then also as well, they're going to be making their own token, right? And so if you stake your Yakuza cat the same way you can stake, if anyone knows much about crypto, you can stake your crypto, and your crypto earns more crypto. How crazy is that, right? But it's like basically in a way when, if you're a loan shark or something, you give out a certain amount of money and you expect a certain amount of interest, right? Same thing, right? So when you stake your Yakuza cat, you get a certain amount of interest, meaning you get a certain amount of Dharma, D-A-M-A. That's so cool. Dharma, Dharma, D-H-A-M-A. If you guys D-H-A-R-M-A, I mean, Buddha, when Buddha speaks about Dharma, it's beautiful. Anyway, if you don't know much about that stuff, it's something you could look into if you're interested in that stuff. So Dharma, D-A-M-A, is the token, and that can be traded on SushiSwap. SushiSwap is a platform similar to Coinbase, similar to PancakeSwap. SushiSwap is a platform where you can trade cryptocurrencies, okay? So it's like, it's like going onto the FedEx exchange, right? And you want to trade NZD to USD or whatever, right? It's like that, but it's for crypto. Okay, now Dharma, you basically get free Dharma, you get free cryptocurrency, but I don't know how much it'll be valued at. Probably very cheap to start with, unless they use Dharma, the token itself, to buy stuff, right? So if you can only access certain things with Dharma tokens, for example, in the metaverse, I bet you can only buy certain things and access certain things with Dharma tokens, right? Then the value of Dharma, perceived value of Dharma, will go up. Because why? Because the utility of Dharma goes up, right? So you can see, okay, well, I need Dharma tokens to buy this. I need to go buy Dharma tokens, you see? So that's why you might be getting free money if you own a Yakuza cat. So that's a cool concept. I know there's already quite a few NFTs doing this, and I think Yakuza cats are doing it well. Some don't do it well because they only do tokens and they do nothing with the tokens, which is silly, right? So yeah, you can definitely go research that. It's a great project. I'm going to go back in on it if I can, because I'm going in on a big project very soon, which is what I'm saving the funds for. And then once I get more funds, then I'll probably go on this, as long as the floor price doesn't go up too much by then. So it's a great one. Currently floor is 0.39, like I said. All right, number 4. Now I think this one personally is going to do, this is difficult because I think Yakuza cats could be number 4. So it's just between these two, which is Safarian Surge. I actually had one of these at one point. I flipped it as well. made, I don't know, $1,000 or $2,000. Now, Safarian Surge is a cool one. It's a game. It's another game project. I think game projects next year are going to do really well long term. So if you have a game, if you see a really good idea for a game project within the NFT space, similar to Axes. Axes is very highly traded. I've got a friend that's running a business within that space. He's doing really well already, and he will continue to do fantastically. And it's just a great, cool space that's really up and coming, which is, of course, why. What's that game that did really well? That online game. Why can't I? It's Fortnite. Gosh, of course. Sorry, guys. I am so sorry that slips my mind. People wait me for that. Fortnite. I never played it in my life, but I had a lot of friends that got it, that really loved it. Fortnite, okay, is worth billions of dollars. Billions with a B, right? Billions of dollars Fortnite is worth. People spend millions on Fortnite just to buy skins. That is a form of an NFT in a way, right? They buy skins to make their character look different on the Fortnite game, right? Which is not an expensive game to get into, and then they spend all this money on skins to make the character look cool on the game. That's because social currency is the same reason why someone buys Louis Vuitton bags instead of something that's 20 times cheaper for the same quality, right? Which is why someone buys a Ferrari over a Toyota. It does the same thing basically, right? Maybe it goes a little bit quicker, right? And has maybe you can probably get just as comfy seats in a really nice Toyota, but it's going to be about 3-4 times the price for the Ferrari at least, depending on obviously what price of Toyota you get, right? So same kind of concept, right? This is a social currency thing. People see, oh, you have a Ferrari. Whoa, you're the Ferrari man, right? So you get these titles, you get these names, right? People see you in a certain way. You are the guy that has a Ferrari. It's an identity thing. Same thing with these things, right? So that's why people get skins, right? Now, NFTs are going to have more of a concept that comes into play in terms of social currency than physical aspects, because if I own, say, a Lambo and a Ferrari, and I'm driving my Ferrari, people see my Ferrari, they don't see my Lambo. But if I have a Bored Ape Yacht Club, I have a V Friends, I have a Crypto Kitties, I have a Crypto Punk, and I have all these amazing projects that are worth, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of dollars, right? Depending on the project. Then people will see that with their Apple glasses that are coming out next year, and they'll be able to see, my all my cool tokens above my head or wherever they'll see it. They'll be like, oh my god, you own all these different things, right? I get to literally display all my amazing things in real life and I take them with me everywhere I go, which is even more valuable in a way in terms of social currency than anything else that's ever existed. So in a ways, people are probably going to be valuing this stuff even more than a Ferrari, even more than a Louis Vuitton bag, even more than than your really nice house, because not everyone sees your house, right? You post it on Instagram, but not everyone sees that. When you walk around, you're walking around with your freaking CryptoPunk, right? People are going to see that everywhere, especially once Apple glasses become more of a normality, which it will, same as your phone, right? How many people use their phones? That's how many people are going to be using glasses, right? That's the crazy thing about it, right? Now, Safarian Surge is a great game project. It's got a great vision. It's moving quite quickly for a game project because games take quite a while to develop. It's valued at 0.25 floor. So that's around about I think that's something like $1,250, $1,250 New Zealand ish, right? So in other words, a little under $1,000 US. So I think Safarian Surge is a great game concept. Again, I had one, but it's a very much more long-term game, a long-term project, and I need the funds. So I've sold some of my long-term ones that was sort of taking their time to build, and I'm going in for something that's going to grow quicker, sooner, now, and then once I get the more funds, I'm going to be buying some of these top 10s myself. Again, so that's 0.25. Gambling Apes, another one that I used to own, and I flipped to this one, and I made, I think, about almost $3,000 with this one, right? Gambling Apes is valued at 0.32. Basically, you own a piece of a casino in decentralized land. So basically in decentralized land, they're building a casino where when you have an NFT and you go into decentralized land, you go into the metaverse, which you can only access if you have an NFT. So I go on with my NFT and I'm like, hey, Bob, or hey, Carl, let's go to, the Gambling Apes casino, right? Which is, going to be this really cool casino in decentralized land. And we go together and we're playing blackjack and that sort of thing. And then the money the casino makes, right? The profits they make from all that stuff, which is going to be a lot of money, by the way, because there's a lot of people that love gambling, a lot of people that love Vegas. This is going to be like the Vegas of Decentraland, which is crazy. I am so, as I'm saying this, I'm like, holy crap, no wonder that I've made this as number 3, because it deserves to be there. Long term, this is fantastic. There's other gambling projects, but I think this one is the best in my opinion. There's MonkeyBet DAO, which could easily be in the top 10 list, honestly, but I just don't think that there is sort of their mentality, their vision, and the people behind the project are as proficient as the ones in Gambling Apes, because they're much more entrepreneurial. I've done some research. I usually do the research on the people behind the projects as well, right? And I really liked Gambling Apes team. So yeah, basically the 10,000 people that own, is it 10,000 or 7,000 people that own Gambling Apes? I think it's 7,000. Yeah, they get a percentage of all the profits the casino make if you hold it. How crazy. And it's a ticket to go to freaking, like there was a Las Vegas event they did last month that you could only go to if you had a Gambling Ape. So I sold mine just before that, which is why I made profit, because people were like, I want to go to this event because my friend's going. I have to buy a Gambling Ape. That's why heaps of people bought Gambling Apes, right? And you could only go and you could play blackjack in real life with people that held Gambling Ape tokens. How cool. And then they're doing one in December, I think, in Nevada, I think, which is, of course, where Las Vegas is. No, it can't be there. I can't remember where it is, but anyway, it's in some cool place, and you can only go if you have a Gambling Ape. And they're going to keep doing cool parties like that. So I need to get a Gambling Ape because I'm going to America in May next year. I'm going to be in Minneapolis and Minnesota next year, and I'm going to go see all my cool NFT friends that I've never met before that own the same NFTs as me. How cool is that? Sounds scary, right? But this is the world that we're coming to. So yeah, that's Gambling Apes at 0.32, which is very low that's really cheap for what the project's going to be worth over the course of the next 12 to 24 months. So that's number 3. Number 2, all right, Coin Games. All right, Coin Games Dev Squad, another gaming project. Yes, another gaming project. But this, for me, in my opinion, apart from Axes, in terms of a singular investment where you don't actually have to go and play the game, which is where Axes will make your revenue, is if you actually go and play the game. I don't know as much about it. You can go find my friend Stephen Harvey, or Steve Harvey, CEO, I believe. Anyway, I'll put his, if you're interested, you can go speak to him about Axes if you're more interested in that stuff. I'll put his information in the description below, so you can go talk to him if you're interested in that stuff, learning more about Axes, all right, which is the number 1 gaming project in the NFT space at the moment, right? Now, this is the number one where you don't actually have to go play and you can just hold it, and the value of it will naturally just go up because there are only 5,555 of them, I think, of Coin Games Dev Squad members. And the cool thing is you can, like, they've got the wizards, they've got the dwarves, they've got the owls, you know, they've got the different races. So it's sort of like a really cool, almost like Warcraft style game that you can only access if you have Coin Games. So imagine if this like game became so popular as Warcraft, which I could see it becoming because it's the first of its type within the gaming space of that NFT space itself, then, you know, the demand for it is going to go so up, the value of it's going to go so up. So I think long term it's going to do very fantastically. So in my opinion, Coin Games is definitely ranked as the number 1 gaming project over the next 12 to 24 months outside of Axes in terms of an investment long term. Cool. So that's number 2. So cool things with Coin Games. And also as well, if you own a Coin Games Dev Squad, you get say in literally how they make the game. Like, that's so cool, right? They've already developed it anyway. That's the cool things about it. Now, number 1 is the relentless tier of the Impact Theory token. All right, so now Impact Theory is owned by Tom Ballou, who was the co-founder of Quest Nutrition, which is $1 billion evaluated at $1 billion USD. That's a lot of money. All right, so this guy knows his stuff. He knows what he's doing, and he has himself said that he's dedicating his life to this project, and he's going to make it the number 1 thing, right? There are 3 tiers. I'm buying the top tier, which is 3 ETH, which is the founder's token. The founder's token is at 3 ETH. And if you buy that, you just get all this utility. You get the right to partner. So I get to pitch my projects and my companies to Tom himself, right? Which is crazy. I get the invites to quarterly dinners. I get to go on a weekly call, you know, with, you know, as a group, right? There's monthly calls. There's so many different things. There's Steve Aoki, things that I get to access. I'm not sure what those are yet, but like a lot of these things are still yet to be unveiled. But yeah, really cool concepts around this. But anyway, the second tier is the Heroes tier, which is going to be valued at 1.5 ETH. Then the Relentless tier is going to be valued at 0.05 ETH. So massive drop. But the Relentless tier, as the tiers go down, right, you get less. What's the word? There's less utility for that particular tier, right? So it's all within the same project, but the Relentless tier, which is the cheapest tier of the impact theory, is going to be released, hasn't been released yet, at on the 15th of October. So literally, as I'm sharing this, hopefully it hasn't released by the time this episode is released, maybe it has, which is the 15th of October, which is on the US time. So it'll be Saturday, 16th of October, our time, New Zealand time, right, when it will be released. So that's going to be sold at 0.05 Ether, right? So again, about 250 New Zealand dollars-ish. So yeah, that's got some fantastic utility long term. I just know that this is going to do fantastically, and it's going to be valued extremely well in the next sort of 2 to 3 to 5 years, actually. So this is more long term, and yeah, very low investment rate, and I would recommend to anyone going to get one of these. So if you're interested, look at impact theory NFTs, right, and search legendary is it the Founders Key? The Founders Key is like the is the name of the NFT project. So Founders Key is the name of the project, and you want to go for the Relentless tier of the Founders Key. Okay, and then that will give you a great token. So if you want, you can go and find Tombaloo. So literally go find Tombaloo himself on Twitter, all right? And you can go to his Discord that's attached to his Twitter, and you can find all the updates and announcements there. So that's probably the easiest way to stay up to date with everything going on. Cool. Now, I think that's just about it. I'm going to give some honorable mentions that I think are cool projects that I personally won't be investing in, right? Okay, one is the Wanderers NFT, okay? All my thing's about to die, so hopefully I get this done in time. Wanderers NFT is valued at 0.48 ETH. Okay, you get dropped a free planet. All right, so it's a space thing. I don't know too much about it, but you get dropped a free planet, and they got like a cool roadmap going forward. The Heart project, which is valued at 0.2 ETH, is really community driven, so really cool concept as well. The community gets a say in all their creative stuff that they're doing. They're building a whole lot of creative with music, with art, and the community get a massive say in how they build it all, which is really cool. And a very cool art-based project. Art-based projects are very dope. They don't really have much of a roadmap themselves in terms of what they're doing and or the utility. It's just more about the art itself. But Official Surreals, I think, is a cool one. It's valued at 0.23 ETH, so also a very low tier one. So if you're more interested in just the art, the Official Surreals is probably a cool one. But these are just honorable mentions. So there's other cool projects out there as well. I haven't done, and maybe, I've done many hours of research, but maybe not enough hours to be able to get through all the projects that are there to give my own opinion on them all, because there's literally 50, 60, 70 projects come out every single day, which is insane. So you can imagine how many projects there are, right? So yeah, with that being said, this is not financial advice, guys. Remember, this is just simply, cool projects that you can get into and you can get a part of. Wait, I missed one, didn't I? There was absolutely one that I missed. How did it not? Oh no, it should be, I'm going to put this at freaking number like, maybe like number 7 alongside Roaring Leaders, and it's called the Sevens. Sorry guys, I want to mention this one as well. The Sevens, it's a really cool concept, first of its kind. There's only 7,000 of them, but they're all collectibles that are sort of anime looking in a way, and they're referenced from pop culture, anime, games, memes, movies, and more. So yeah, they're going to do cool things in the metaverse. Not a really interesting roadmap, to be honest, but just really cool art, really cool concept. And I just think that they do have a little bit of a roadmap, but they're just releasing more of the projects that are just going to value the original projects, which is the Sevens, even more as the year goes on next year as well. So that's another one that I'll probably get a part of. I can't remember the floor price of that. The floor price is, I have no idea, but I know it's within the 0.5 ETH. I can find out right now as I'm speaking. But yeah, guys, if you find this valuable, please do subscribe. It really serves us in helping us to reach more people, which is ideal. So please do that. And if you can, there we go, 0.275, so pretty cheap. That's, a little over $2.5 grand New Zealand. No, sorry, a little over $2 grand New Zealand. So that's, almost 2.5 grand New Zealand. So no, sorry, I take that back. That is around about 1,250 to 1,400 New Zealand ish at the moment. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Yeah, if you found this valuable, yeah, give us a good old review, share it, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm excited. I'm going to speak more about, you know, flipping stuff, and also I'll be speaking more on news around NFTs, so cool things that are happening in the NFT space that I think will be very valuable for you guys to know as well, for when it comes to investing. So I love you guys, and I will catch you next time. Bye.